Okay, we are live here at GeoWeek 2026. My name is Kevin Gilday. I'm a Senior Customer Success Manager at NavVis, and I am here with Matt Skibba from Feldman Geospatial, and they are one of our valued customers. So just wanted to start out, Matt, just kind of hearing more about your background as an individual, but also more about Feldman Geospatial as a whole, as a company, and just some of the company history, some of the things you're all up to.
Yep. I've been scanning for about 20 years, all over the world, doing projects, big and small. At Feldman, we do mostly work on the Northeast, but we do some projects throughout the country, depending on our client. We do a lot of construction layout. My group, I manage all the reality capture and scanning. So we have, I think, 9 or 10 scanners that are constantly out doing projects big and small for our construction clients and our more of our boutique. Doesn't have to be a public entity, but a smaller contractor, architect, stuff like that. We use traditional, terrestrial scanners. We use SLAM scanners. We have LiDAR units on drones. So pretty much, we have a very big toolbox with a lot of options.
That's great to hear, Matt. Yeah, because one thing I was thinking, geospatial. I love the geospatial industry and the possibilities, and just how many different types of projects geospatial technology can help out on. So I would love to hear just kind of when you were initially sort of evaluating NavVis technology, just how did you see that kind of fitting in with your overall geospatial toolkit?
Yeah, when we first started looking at NavVis technologies, it was kind of like, all right, well, what can it do? What does the data sets look like? What is kind of the added benefit of having a SLAM scanner and the ability to capture a large amount of data very quickly? That was kind of a selling point for us that, yep, we can easily train people on it. You strap on the unit and away you go. And we're able to cover hundreds of thousands of square feet in a day, get the project done, upload it, go on to the next one the next day. So it's just been very good to in and out of a space, very accurate, having embedded panos and great photography associated with it as well. We have a lot of clients just asking for that. So it's like, yeah, this is a great tool in our toolbox.
That's really interesting to hear. And so kind of to parlay, what are some recent projects, ones that you can discuss, whether it be public, private, where you utilized our technology and just, how did you approach those projects given you have a widespread toolkit and just how did everything work out?
Yeah, I can't go into too much detail, and you'll probably want to edit that part out, but a lot of our stuff for airports, in the Boston area, we'll do terminals inside and out and just kind of be able to take that data, send along the embedded pano and the IVION viewer to the client where they can look at every space inside and out of a terminal, an airport, whatever it may be. It's just been phenomenal to do million square feet. Like, yep, that's one terminal, on to the next. And now they have kind of that initial digital twin of what do they own, what's in it, BOMA standards, square footage, all the room volumes, all that kind of stuff. So another one that comes to mind is it's kind of like a venture capital fund where they only deal with properties, and that is how so it's not venture capital, but just a capital company, but that's what they trade as properties, and they don't want to go to all these properties, so they send us there. We scan them all, create floor plans, send the viewers so that when they go to sell them, lease it out, they have the IVION viewer with their site. They never had to go to Chicago, wherever the place was. We went there, captured all the data, anything they could want from it, just with the NavVis scanner. So I can pop that in a case, put it on an airplane, and a crew goes, and we're good to go.
That's amazing. Thanks for that insight, Matt. And, I was curious too, just to hear from you in terms of, the data that we produce, just, from a QA QC perspective. You mentioned accuracy a few times. What are some things that have jumped out to you, whether it's the accuracy or the completeness of the point cloud or the panoramic imagery or anything else? Just be curious to hear your thoughts, as you complete these projects and go back and review the data.
Yep. With NavVis being a newer technology, as most SLAM is newer than just a terrestrial scanner, we very much vetted it versus our existing scanners we had in-house. And we're like, all right, until we're comfortable, we're not going to use it to the high-end stuff until we're comfortable. And now we're at a point where we're like, yeah, it matches time and time again. So we're like, all right, we put it through the paces and it does what we want it to do for the civil and architectural side of things. That is kind of our bread and butter, and it works. And to get it to have great imagery associated with it, that we can get the embedded E57s out of it that the clients are looking for, that's huge. So now we're not kind of processing it more, trying to figure out all these other workflows. It just comes right out of IVION and away we go. So it works well.
Love it. And great to hear that approach. And I'm all for our stuff, being vetted and really put to the test. And you've brought up IVION a few times as well, and how that can sort of be a deliverable to your clients. So it's more than just say, a point cloud, maybe they're not over familiar with point cloud, or, just a floor plan. But, how have you seen the IVION component, kind of maybe provide some value add, or just, how have you seen that really help you all when interacting with your clients during or after project delivery?
So usually if I know the project is going to be a NavVis project, I usually lead with, oh, by the way, you're going to get a free online viewer of all of your data and imagery. And they're like, oh, okay. And before we even create the floor plans or whatever the deliverable is, we give them a link to all of the scan setups. And they're like, this is great. We're weeks ahead just being able to conceptually look through all of our spaces. And we have some clients that they only want the IVION viewer. They don't even care about anything else because that's what they want to use. They want it's easy, it's very intuitive. They can just send the link via a browser and everyone on the team is up and running and using it. So it's just been very nice to kind of have that as a free add-on to, oh yeah, you have great data and this is kind of, the coating on top, or whatever that old adage is.
Good old icing on the cake. Yeah. Well, and also, what else is icing on the cake is when we get to meet our customers like you at these types of events, GeoWeek 2026. So really, on behalf of NavVis, just want to say thank you, Matt, for really taking the time and taking the time to answer these questions and really just be here, spend some time. So thanks a lot.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
On behalf of Feldman Geospatial and NavVis, cheers from GeoWeek 2026. Cheers.